What is going on, beautiful people? Trajectory Tuesday, aka Christmas Eve. What is happening? Who do we have on?
Good morning, Fernando.
Hey, what's happening, Kelly? I heard a couple voices. I heard Kelly. Who else did I hear?
Hi. Orly.
Orly, what's happening? Then I heard a masculine male voice. Who was that?
It was Mike, and I appreciate you calling me masculine.
Yeah, that was like super nice. Like very grunting and like you were just finished chopping wood in like a beanie and a t-shirt outside in this cold weather. That is the feeling that I got.
That's exactly what I was just doing. Are you watching me?
I am watching you like a hawk, brother. You have no idea. Well, Darcy's in here as well. She was on the 8 a.m. huddle. Jay Levine, who is
Good
like
morning.
a rock star. We have
Jay.
What's happening, Ken?
Hey.
We got Elizabeth. I see a number in the back. Who is that number in the back?
954. Nice to meet you.
Well, as we wait, thank you, Craig, for joining in on this special day of blessings and of sharing. Who would like to share? Let's talk about magic. Today is a beautiful day to talk about magic. Who would like to share some magic that is happening in their lives? Maybe some magic that whoever was there at the holiday party on Friday, magic that they're looking to spend with their family or their loved ones. Let's change the energy to some magic as Sean jumps in a few minutes. Who would like to share? What is some magic that they're present to at the moment? Go.
I have magic. It applies to, I might have set a couple up at the holiday party, so I'm excited for that to see where that goes. It is a former Platt and then somebody that I sat next to that lives in Paramus, so I am excited.
Well, that is beautiful. Integrity-based human influence also means blind dates and Cupid. So, Darcy, thank you for taking them both from hello to date, hello to yes. That is fantastic. So I am glad that that is magic for you. That is magic for us. So thank you for sharing. Who else would like to share some magic that they're present to on this beautiful December 24th as we go towards the end of the year? I see Craig in the building. Craig is just an original. Makes me smile when I see that. But who else would like to share? This is a beautiful opportunity to grab the power of the microphone. I know Jay is itching on that unmute button. So thank you for your patience, Jay. Who are some people that are on the call that'd like to share some magic? Anything and everything, a simple sentence. We would love to hear you.
Hey, Fernando, I have a fun share. So yesterday in the morning, I woke up and it being a Monday and me wanting to put myself in the optimal state, and I woke up and I wasn't really in the optimal state. I decided to give myself the oneness blessing. And so I spent a lot of time in that state. And as I'm driving to work and I'm on the phone with my team, they can obviously sense a very big difference in me. And then I realized I made a huge mistake in that I had a lot of stuff to get done that required a fair amount of urgency and aggression. And me being in a beautiful state, as one of my attorneys put it, was like me smoking pot and then coming to work. Like, you were way too relaxed. He's like, go do push-ups, go do jumping jacks, run up and down the stairs. He goes, you cannot be in this state when you come in here in the morning. So it pretty much lasted until like after lunchtime, where I was finally able to lovingly shake it off and make a couple of telephone calls where I blew people's worlds up. But it was a funny place to be for about 4.5 hours as my team was expecting me to come in full of, just aggression and urgency. So it's just a very fun place to be. So I just wanted to share that. Beautiful state. Sometimes is not the best energy to bring into your universe.
That is
so Michael,
awesome.
was that?
Hey, Sean.
Yeah. Hey, good morning. Who's that? Fernando? I heard Michael.
That was Michael, yes.
Hey, Michael. Yeah, good morning, everybody, by the way. Merry Christmas Eve. Happy Hanukkah and holiday season. So, Michael, what will you share? I heard the beautiful state part, but what was the beginning part?
So yesterday I woke up at 5 o'clock and I was not in the most optimal state to do what it is that we do. So I thought to myself, maybe I'll insert some gratitude into the mix, and I did the oneness blessing for about 40 minutes. And I came into work yesterday, and Chris told me that I was so relaxed, it's as if I smoked pot and came to work. He goes, don't ever, when you need to be aggressive and urgent, don't ever do that again in the morning. So I was just in this very beautiful state until about 1 o'clock. And when I was finally able to lovingly shake it off and call up some people and blow up their universe.
Well, it was the people who it was appropriate, necessary, and good for justice and integrity that you're blowing up the universe.
That is correct. Those are the only people who we hit with that kind of energy.
Yes. No, I know. I just wanted to make sure that was clear out there in the world. So good morning, everybody, and I hope everybody is doing amazingly well. I believe on this incredible trajectory Tuesday. So what's present out there? Anybody have anything that they would like to share on this lovely and incredible morning? Adam, we come late sometimes, but you've been just absolutely crushing. Actually, before you get to Adam, is there anybody else we can get to? If not, we will jump to Adam. Going once, going twice. All right, Adam, what's happening, brother?
Just very grateful on this Christmas Eve morning with everything that's going on. Of course, super excited to spend some time with the family, but just unbelievable. Couldn't imagine a year ago today where things would be and where I am right now. So again, super grateful for all the new people that I've been meeting and everything that's going on in my life.
Super amazing. I had a beautiful day yesterday. Up to a bunch of things, but we were working on just really covering what's up for January 10, 11, and 12. And maybe, Adam, I think it was interesting because I think we covered a lot of what's going to be happening scheduling-wise for January 10, 11, and 12. And there were, I think, parts and pieces, Adam, that you may have not been fully clear on as I was going through the more in-depth elements of what's going to occur. And how did you feel about that layout and that plan? And I guess maybe what was a little surprising or pop for you?
So as we continue the acceleration and get closer and closer to January 10th, 11th, and 12th, and always confident in what you do, the message, the formula, and the content, it's just we hadn't really focused on exactly what was going to happen on the agenda. And yesterday I found out it was very apparent that this agenda had been developed and created in your mind for a lot longer than the past several months. This has been something that you've been preparing for a very, very long time. And I'm extremely excited for the for this day, for these 3 days, because it is going to be mind-blowing, amazing, incredible, epically spectacular, as I described the Christmas party. That's what I'm expecting, and I can't wait for those 3 days.
Oh, awesome, Adam. And what's been readily apparent to me has been what an example of the exponential differential of the integrity-based human influence skill set that you represent, as well as your process mastery. I mean, you and self-mastery. It is so incredible to see the gap exponentially that exists in the results that you produce and your leadership produces than what occurs elsewhere. You know, this story, I always have fun telling the story of when Greg DiPietro came to work with me, and he was one of 4 people competing in the space of booking sales meetings related to training back in 2007. I think it was 2006 or 7. And the 4 people, first person booked 0 appointments, second 0, third 0, he booked 30. And I have fun saying, like, there's no number you can multiply times 0 to get to 30, so it's infinitely better. And when you look at what at scale not only you did before, but you're doing related to driving forward, help and supporting people and seeing what they don't see, about January 10, 11, and 12, it is absolutely remarkable, Adam. And so when people think about, one of the challenges on Trajectory Tuesday that we often talk about for people is the absence of their understanding of math and connection to math at a deep level. And you represent at the core and on the surface and everywhere in between the true power of exponential differential and mastery, and what is occurring related to this, to January 10, 11, 12, just as an independent model of looking at, other very talented, beautiful people and what they're able to create and produce, as opposed to once you and Jared came into the equation, and even what it did for the entire rest of everyone, up-leveling their skills, clarifying focus, the impact you've had on everyone, certainly Fernando. And I mean, Fernando just had such a beautiful energy and heart for everything that's happening, certainly great skills. And when this all came into place, the acceleration that began to occur, which will culminate in 1,500 plus people, we're believing 2,000 now. It's going to be such an unbelievable story representing mastery. So like literally, January 10, 11, 12 itself is going to represent, and the work that you're doing and leading is going to be an independent standing example of mastery, exponential acceleration, which it'll be hard to imagine something more appropriately embodying Trajectory Tuesday besides your actual original story of becoming number one inside salesperson at ADP, as well as becoming, building your former company of $300 to $700 million. It is remarkable. And tying that all in to how that represents the ability to generate more money in less time with more magic, which if you think about what people want, it's exactly what they want. And by the way, it's completely consistent with like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is a longer story for a different day. And it like sits right here in front of folks. It's been dawning on me more and more consistently when people are like, what's happening here? Like, what is Unblinded? It's so interesting because so much of personal development is so basically rooted in simply the self-mastery component of things, even if it purports like, the work of other sales people in sales training is so, maybe let's even go here for a second, Jared, if you can unmute. Because I think this is really important for everybody to not only know, but to understand about themselves and how they perceive things. We were having a conversation because I think at depth, Jared, Adam, and I were just making sure we're in full and complete alignment on some of the micro distinctions of January 10, 11, and 12. And Jared, if you wouldn't mind sharing some of, and again, this is in service of people understanding how conditioned we are about what a personal development event looks like versus the distinctions of what this is in service of the concept of mastery, how disconnected we can be as people from it. And I want to just tie that all together for everybody on this Trajectory Tuesday, because that's really what Trajectory Tuesday is about. So Jared, are you unmuted and out there?
I am unmuted, and I have two beautiful children on my lap, so they're going to contribute to these distinctions.
Amazing. Beautiful. Well,
it's wonderful. Christmas Eve morning. Yes, but yeah, no, it's yesterday was just, to me, was like the cherry on top of all of this, because I knew that this was going to be the most magical event. But to see all of us, me, Sean, Adam, Fernando, sit in a room and be able to like talk through the event and all be on the same page. This was really like our first time ever all talking about it. It's just exciting. But here's the major distinction. Most events, I would almost say all events, they have the same thing, which is they're really entertaining. They're filled with music and sound and fireworks and all different speakers that have nothing to do with one another. And it's kind of disjointed, but it's entertaining. The energy is high, and people leave that experience and they're excited about. Sorry, Chili.
I want to acknowledge what an unbelievable father, and this reminds me of the early childhood years of my Tyler, Courtney, and Emma, And I just want to acknowledge you as such an incredible father and family person, Jared.
Thank
So
you.
please
I
continue.
appreciate that.
With all the amazing things he does, to think that he's even more of an incredible father is just mind blowing.
Well, I just got, I did not Helodias Daily because I gave her a pink spoon instead of the green spoon. So she just, we need new agreement information. Okay, I'll get that for you.
How dare you?
All right.
Hey, Sean, would it be cool if I added something to what Jared just said?
Please.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike. Yeah.
Yeah, so just building on what Jared said and what you're saying, Sean, is it's so interesting when you launch into the content that you've put out that it is so easy to fall into awe of the inspiration and the motivation that you get out of it and completely forget that this is like a textbook, right? It's like you're learning coursework on how to achieve outcomes and achieve the results that you're going out for. And so there's something that's one of the most important things that needs to be remembered is that, yeah, you can come and be completely inspired and leave.
Don't worry. He's not going to come near you. Don't worry.
Craig, hey, Craig, I think you're unmuted, but could you mute your Craig? This is Christmas Eve, family, beauty, and bedlam. Beauty and bedlam all at the same time. This is what it looks like. So good, Mike.
That is amazing. That's exactly what my house sounded like this morning. Yeah, so if you walk into the room and say, I'm about to step into the lab of a Nobel Prize winning scientist, and I have some knowledge of the science, but I'm here to learn instead of be inspired by what this person has achieved or can achieve, I think you're just going to get so much more out of it. You know, you're going to get 100 breakthroughs instead of 5 breakthroughs. And so that's, you know, building on what you're sharing, Sean, and what Jared was just sharing. I think that is one of the most important distinctions that you can make walking into the event.
Yeah, Michael, I really love it. And now my kids are set with yogurt, cacao nibs, and raspberries, so now I can focus. And that is so true. And that's really, to me, like, that's what's so magical about this. Like, I've like kind of stopped going to events a little bit because I felt that what I would get from it was like almost like a jacuzzi experience where there isn't actually like health benefits to a jacuzzi. Like, they just really feel good. And then it wears off at some point because there's not like an actual health benefit to sitting in a jacuzzi. So for me, I'm like, I have young kids. I'm not just going to go to feel good. Like, if I'm going to go somewhere and not be with them, I have to know that I'm going to walk away with something like really tangible. And that's what this is. And now that we've set up the agenda, I have never, and I've like put on events and I've marketed events and I've done a lot of cool things in this space. I've never seen an agenda flow the way that this has been structured, because like, this is why don't even go to the bathroom, like find a way not to leave the room, because it is just this experience that builds on itself every single minute of the experience, because you're going to hear something where Sean's going to teach you a piece of the formula. Then we're going to use like a real life example of someone that actually has succeeded in that domain, or the opposite, like they're struggling in that domain. And like the intervention is not going to be one about their personal well-being. It's going to be about a skill within the formula, so everybody can watch this person who may not have had mastery in a specific area go from where they are to then having a level of mastery. And then there's me 2,000 people role playing, like real role playing, where you're in groups of 3 talking through and working on what just transpired. So what that means is that this is not just one of those experiences that like feels good and it's inspiring. Like, you'll definitely be some of that, but what it really means is like on Sunday when you leave at 5, there's something tangible that you're leaving with, which is the skill, integrity, based human influence. And to me, that's like the positive disruptor that's taking place, because I know this group, you guys go to a lot of events and they're all special and wonderful and amazing. And I'm not speaking against them, but it only will stick with you until life doesn't get in the way. And life always will, because that's the beauty of life. Whereas with this, you could spill coffee on your pants on Tuesday and you don't lose integrity-based human influence, but you might lose your motivation from the event that you left on Sunday. And that's like a huge distinction. So that's the space that you should enter this through, which is I'm coming to actually walk away with something tangible, a skill, one that I can immediately implement and one that I can integrate and synthesize over the course of time to even build deeper levels of mastery.
Yeah, no, awesome. And I think in final piece, Jared, together on this, is I think what was fun for me, and it's fun a lot because I've been through this with Michael Smikin a bunch in all the litigation work. And let us not forget that I've not stopped doing this, what we're going to do on January 10, 11, and 12. I've been doing for 20 years and never stopped. I stopped doing it outside of the office in substantial ways for very long periods of time, but I've been doing it with the team. I've been doing it for consistently. Michael Smikin, real quick, how many times do you think you personally have sat in rooms with me and received pieces and parts and or days of the formula training over the course of the last decade of your life?
I mean, you and I have spoken every single day. So, I mean, thousand, right? It's got to be in the thousands, right? We've done this for over 10 years now. We spoke every day with distinctions in the process. How long have we sat together for more than an hour at a time in training? Hundreds has to be, right? But I mean, I've gotten pieces of the training, thousands, right? And then when it's so amazing to see it all come together, I felt kind of like Ralph Macchio in The Karate Kid, where I would get pieces of the training and understand how to put it all together and things that made what I did go. And then when I would sit in a room during a 4-hour or 8-hour immersion session with a group of other people, to see it be distilled down in a linear fashion was like a completely different experience. But having felt and seen pieces of it, it's got to be in the thousands, Sean. It's got to.
Awesome. Well, that's what we got, and I couldn't be more excited. And I think, Jared, you were a bit there was a piece because there's different folks that might represent and deliver different things. And it was really amazing because I think Jared was at least just like, okay, there's not going to be any feel of disjointed speakers. And I think we're complete, meaning somebody's coming up and speaking off in their own program. And I think we're complete, Jared. You had absolute certainty that there is nothing that is going to be off in somebody's own program. Fair statement?
Fair times 10. Yeah. This is a controlled environment where there's a beautiful, beautiful start and then a beautiful end. And the end is really just the beginning. And there's zero disjointedness in between, which is absolutely special beyond words, because that just doesn't exist within the event space. At least I haven't seen that in years in the event space.
Awesome. Well, enjoy raspberries, Jared. And as Willy Wonka always says, snozberries go well with raspberries as well. So enjoy these snozberries and raspberries. Does anybody have anything else they want to share on this Christmas Eve before we bring it to a wrap?
Hey guys, it's Tony.
Who's that?
Oh, it's Tony, but somebody else jumped in. Yay.
Good morning, Tony. Merry Christmas Eve, brother.
Good morning. Merry Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas to everyone. I missed yesterday's call, so I apologize for that, but I just want to jump in. I know that you guys were probably talking about it yesterday, but I just want to say thank you for the invitation. My wife and I had an amazing time meeting so many of you people, so many people there. Now, obviously, I already know you and so many of you, but it was great to just meet so many new faces and putting faces to the names. And I just want to say thank you. I'm grateful to be involved with you guys and to know so many wonderful people. And just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, or Christmas Eve as it were. I'm doing my cold morning walk a little later than normal. But want to just come on and say Merry Christmas to all of you. Happy Hanukkah, happy holidays. And, 2020 is going to be a great year. 2020 vision, baby, coming up strong.
That's it, brother. And Tony, you looked amazing. Your energy was amazing. And thank you so much for being such a beautiful part of what we're all doing here together in this world. So I appreciate you, brother. And again, Merry Christmas and Christmas Eve. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you, brother. You too. To all of you.
Thank you.
I'd like to jump on. Okay.
Yeah, who's that?
It's Scott Martin.
Scott Martin's in the house. What's up, Scott Martin?
How you doing? I I rarely jump on, and I'm usually pretty quiet on these calls, but I just wanted to, acknowledge Sean and your team. Like, I am absolutely blown away that you have 2,000 people, you've changed venue, and the marketing acceleration has been just absolutely impressive to watch. I mean, even for me, for marketing, I look at this as being exceptional, and the momentum that has been built, the groundswell that's been built is been just humbling to watch. I'm really impressed. But I just wanted to convey that to the rest of your team. Like, I'm really impressed.
Yeah. And Scott, I want to acknowledge you for being such a beautiful part in the earlier stages, and then having a beautiful wedding, and getting married and taking such incredible care of your beautiful and amazing bride. And I want to, get even more connected, because your brilliance, your mind, your talent, your ability, there's still so much even between now and January 10, 11, and 12 that can occur. I'd love to, this is like the Justice League, right, of taking everybody's incredible skill sets and bringing them together to be that force for good, or as you would say, groundswell for good. And I'm super happy to hear your voice, your energy, and things have been really moving at a beautiful acceleration. And it just never stops. Like, there's always another level, and that next level is always, once you're at a high level of mastery, as we all know, the next level on Trajectory Tuesday is always exponential acceleration. So I am very certain that, what you're up to in the world and how that impacts what we're all up to together here, which you're very much a part of, only equals more exponential acceleration. So it is beautiful to hear your voice, Scott.
Thanks, Sean. Awesome to be here.
Yeah. All right. And anybody else out there want to have a final share as we wrap? Okay, once, twice. All right. Listen, to all, Merry Christmas Eve. Couldn't be a more beautiful series of days. And whether you were there at the, Christmas, Hanukkah, and holiday party or not, you clearly are here every day, or consistently, or occasionally even. So we're connected in spirit, emotion, outcome. Couldn't be more grateful. Couldn't be more excited. And let's have this amazing next couple days. We'll be on briefly for a quick Merry Christmas tomorrow morning. It'll be super abridged. It will not turn into Thanksgiving, where we had a beautiful, beautiful day, and we had like 25 shares, 30 shares. It'll be fast, a very quick one, but Devin will be here, and I could not be more grateful for everything that's going on. Again, God bless, love you all, and have a great day. Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a great one, everybody. Merry Christmas.